Hi, this is Carol, and this is my third week initial post. The first question was, which sample course did you like the most and describe why? The sample course that I liked the most was Ottawa University. And the reason that I liked it the most was because it was in my comfort zone. It felt most like our Baker courses, and I liked the mix of traditional teaching, which was the reading and writing assignments, but also I liked the fact that it had the technology, it had the bells and whistles of links to articles on websites, and it also had YouTube videos that kind of give the learning some pop and make it interesting. So those were things that I liked about the curriculum itself and made it sort of engaging and interactive. I also liked the way the instructor set up the syllabus that gave initial information but said, don't worry, in the weekly activities, there's going to be more information. And that was true. When you linked over to the weekly activities and the course materials, each week was laid out beautifully. There was the navigation on the left-hand side, and then there was the week for the student to look at. And I do think Blackboard really has it going on. It's a much cleaner look than our Moodle pages are. So the navigation is over here, and you look at your page, your week right here. And so the teacher can give the objectives for the week and then the checklist like Dr. Langhorst does. And then there's a divider, and then there's the like a link to an article or a reading assignment first, and then a link to an article, and then maybe a link to a YouTube video, and then the assignment is at the bottom. But all of those things are on one page, and that is, to me, just fabulous. I think that was just a really great design, and I really liked the icons, the color. I just really thought the course was well set up and well designed. So I would say that Ottawa won for me, hands down. It was just well done. The one that I liked least, which was question number 2, would have been Liberty University. I felt like it was a very dull looking page. The use of graphics was almost nothing. I also felt like it was very disorganized. They made an attempt to give us a sampling of 2 different types of courses, undergraduate and graduate, and you had to really struggle to understand what you were looking at, whether you were looking at the undergraduate or the graduate. And I know that sounds like, well, how could you not figure that out? But it just took some work, and so that to me was a drawback. I also felt like they didn't group things together in an organizational fashion. For instance, the syllabus and the course schedule, and to me, those are important things to group together. Also, the assignment and the rubric should be on the same page. They didn't have hard calendar dates. To me, those are important things. Other schools didn't do that as well, but I think Baker does do that. And to me, having a hard calendar date, the actual calendar date, is important. I don't want it to say the first day of the course, this is when we'll do this, and your assignment will be due the last day of the week. I want it to say it's going to be due on January 30th, because then I know when January 30th is. To me, that's just an important thing, and it may just be personal preference. The other thing was I felt like the courses themselves at Liberty were very dull. They were very straightforward. You knew what you were supposed to do, but there was nothing dynamic. I only saw one link to actually venturing out into the website, into the web world, and there was an online article that a graduate student was to read. And ironically, to me, in the graduate course, which was about teamwork and communication and conflict resolution, there was no collaborative work other than group discussion, an online discussion forum. There was no group work. I don't like group work, but I would have thought that that might have been something that they had done. No audio or visual files either. No, no media. So those were the reasons that I didn't care for the Liberty University courses. Finally, we were to give what our takeaway would be from this exercise and looking at these different courses. And I think that, seeing all of them, you can see that a lot goes into making an online course. There are lots of parts to all of them, not only just weekly coming up with all of the objectives and the assignments and the links and all of that. I mean, it's quite cumbersome, it seems. But the one thing that really struck me was the amount of energy that you need to try and convey to people who are observing your pages. And let me give you some examples because it really surprised me. That wasn't something that I even considered when I started this. So a course that I really liked was the Fairleigh Dickinson course, the Global Challenge course for freshmen, it sounded like. To me, that was an excellent course. It was a time management, study skills, make you a global student, make you aware of the world around you course. I feel like I really, any beginning college student should take this course because it totally walked the student through an entire semester of learning to distance learn, and also to work with others. There was collaborative work. There were things done online. I mean, it really was a good course without a doubt. But visually, it almost was as if you were seeing an online textbook. And I felt like a student might see that and say, I'm not really that interested in this, but they have to do it. And so I think it would give them skills that they need, but yet I don't know that they would have been that interested in doing it. It was very planned and laid out and step by step. And so from that standpoint, it was good, but it was a little bit dull. The Colorado University course, on the other hand, just leaped off the pages. I mean, it had so much energy. I was ready to enroll, and I've already admitted how many problems I have with technology, so it could not be my class. I didn't even understand really what some of the terminology was, but that instructor obviously knew his students. He knew where the students um, were, what they were interested in, and how to speak to them. I mean, he had catchy names for his topics, for his units, and I just thought that he really um, captured the energy of that topic as well, because technology and media is going to be something that is going to appeal to creative people, and so it was a very creative looking class. I think that he had some issues in the class as a teacher. I felt like there were some things that were not quite right about it, but I think that he really did some great things, and he had that flexibility. When you see it, the achievements were an assignment that he requires. There are 8 of them that you have to choose throughout the semester. So he gets that college students want flexibility and that they want relevance, and so they get to choose that. And what a great idea! I mean, I really thought this is somebody who is going to relate to the people that he's teaching, that he's working with, and he made it seem more collaborative. And I thought that really is something that you need to consider if you're going to design a class. So that's what I took away from it. I'll be anxious to hear what y'all did.